I'm using that.
My name is Tori. Please, English. What's your name? One second.
How long have you been at Cheer Force?
8 years. 8 or 9 years.
Can you figure that out real quick?
How many has the gym been open?
This will be the 10th, I think.
9 years. I've been at Cheer Force for 9 years.
You didn't come the first year?
I still lived in Indiana.
5 was on Nfinity, the rest was on...
Our senior level worlds teams. Trinity, AP5, Code Black, Filled on Frenzy, Wrath, Ferocity.
Who did you coach last year?
Wrath, Blackout, Vengeance, and R.I.P.
When did you find out that you're going in the routine?
Me, Nicole, Jin, and Anna shared a room. And we were going back and forth. We talked to the kids, and the kids decided that they wanted to perform. And we knew it couldn't be a boy, because then the boy would have to partner stunt, and that was too soon. I was getting in the shower, and I was like, it has to be me. I know the routine. And then we all agreed that I was gonna do it, and I was like, fuck yeah, I can do this, like no big deal. And then
strikes a local competitive cheer team. One of their teammates didn't make it back from the competition. He was hit and killed by a car in Cabazon. 10 News reporter Laura Acevedo spoke to the cheerleader's mother and his teammates who had to finish their competition without him.
The owner here at Cheer Force San Diego tells me that Kenrod James had just joined Infinity's cheer team last June, his teammates quickly falling in love with him and his spirit.
My heart is broken. My heart is broken.
Doreen Carter was waiting for her son to come home for dinner when she got the call.
He had called and he talked to my husband and said he had got into an accident.
Kenrod James had just finished competing in day 1 of the Duel in the Desert cheer competition in Palm Springs.
He was just a loving, caring person. And you knew that. You got that vibe and you knew that immediately. You know, this is a great guy.
According to CHP, the 28-year-old was driving on the 10 in Cabazon when he was in an accident. The other driver took off. James got out of his car to check the damage when another car crashed into him. Paramedics rushed James to the hospital where he later died.
Just to see his lifeless body, it wasn't just, I couldn't do nothing just to see him there. It took a lot from me.
His team still had 1 day left in their competition.
How was the next day?
next day, I remember waking up and just wishing it was all an awful dream. But it wasn't. I remember being in the car with Brendan, and we were just talking about the whole situation. And I remember telling him that I did not want to take that long walk down those hallways in the convention center because I knew that we would have so much support and so much love, but I didn't know still how to deal with the reality, and I didn't know if I was going to be able to stop and talk to everybody, and just didn't have words that day. And I remember walking into that conference room, and it was just, you could just see the heartbreak on every one of the kids. It was quiet. You could tell that they were still in disbelief as well. And to be honest,
I wasn't sure how we were going to get through that day. We had all agreed what we wanted to do with our hearts, but emotionally and physically, I just wasn't sure how they were going to be able to pull through. And I remember all of them laying on the ground on their backs, listening to the music and marking through the routine in their heads, and I could just see tears running down all their faces, and it was going to be so different this time.
My mind had kind of been taken off of it for a while, up until my mom said, "You got this, honey. It's gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be okay today." And I just it brought everything back to I'm about to go on the floor and he's not there to do a stunt with me that we've worked so hard. We've spent so much time together.
Inside of her.
Yeah, this, my base was not going to really be there.
I woke up and I was like, I don't even want to fucking go, honestly.
I woke up feeling like yesterday must have been a dream, you know?
My mom told me that I just turned around and looked at her, and I was like, I still can't believe it. It's
on social media, they just said it was an athlete from Nfinity, and they didn't tell anybody who it was. People didn't know if it was us or not, and we were all in different time zones and stuff. So, woke up and we had a bunch of our family members and friends texting us being like, "Oh my God, you need to text us back, please no."
Just asking me what happened, if I was okay, and just saying I'm so sorry and stuff. I just remember I didn't even care to really open it. I was just I don't know. I was just so focused on just what had happened that I didn't care about anything else really.
Sunday was tough.
I remember Craig's meeting in our meeting room, and the first thing I had to tell them, because we all just looked not well, and all these little kids that look up to you and all this stuff. Just seeing it that sad, it's really, I'm sure it's hard for them because they don't understand, and they probably never had to go through anything like this before. So I'm gonna tell them. I couldn't actually. I told them to look at her because they started crying. I don't remember if we were walking to the warm-up room. We were walking to the stage with Craze. But I remember Mia coming up to me and telling me that she missed him. I remember the kids crying. I'm not sure they were crying because they knew that he was the person that stood around their practices and cheer for them, even if he didn't know their names or he did know their names. Or if they were just crying because they knew that we were in a hard spot.
I don't think I cried that morning until I walked into our new room, and just seeing them and remembering them from last night, I started crying again because you just keep replaying it over and over in your head.
I had to do Haley, Gina, and a couple girls' makeup, and I remember I couldn't do it. I couldn't do their makeup because they wouldn't stop crying. So everything was just melting off, and I remember being like, Haley, I know this is fucking hard, but if you want to have makeup on your face, you gotta try to stop crying.
I looked at stuff, I was like, I don't want to put makeup on right now. And she looked at me and she said, I was talking to Kenrod last night, and he was so excited to see all the girls get ready because we didn't have to wear buns that day. Super excited to see how gorgeous we would all look, and so I went all out for makeup. and I cried most of it off. But that's okay. Worth it. Yeah, definitely worth it.
I put like no makeup on because I knew I was gonna cry it off, and Anna was gonna yell at me, but like, whatever.
It was really hard to watch some of the frenzied girls.
The first thing I said, literally the first thing I said was, don't be Kenrod. First thing I said to my mom. And that's what Maria said. Maria said it was Kenrod. I was having a panic attack because I didn't want him to be hurt. And I wanted him to be okay because he was like joy. He brought happiness to me. Like the week before Palm Springs, I went to the doctor and I told him I was crying at the doctor's office, and he's like, pretty people don't cry. Only ugly people cry.
The Wrath girls, they practiced the same time as us, so like they knew Kenrod just as much as us, and like it was hard to watch a lot of the younger kids go through that as well.
Because a lot of them didn't find out the night before, so like they didn't know until they were there.
And I just remember, you know, finishing and just immediately like bawling my eyes out because, you know, he wasn't there. It was just so like, it was so real. And, you know, like seeing Kaden too afterwards was like probably like the hardest thing.
When I knew I was going in the routine on Sunday or Saturday night, it was more of a like challenge, you know, like we do this our entire lives. We get put in routines, and like you're the badass that can do it, you know, and it's like an honor, you know. You're good enough to go in and you know the routine, you know that you're gonna learn choreo fast, you know that you are not better than other people at doing that, but just like learning the routine. Like I'm gonna do whatever I need to do in the next 24 hours to make sure that I know what to do, you know.
But was it, I mean, it was different, right?
No, not Saturday night. It was very like
Business?
Yeah, very business. Like I'm gonna do it, it's gonna be fine, everything's fine. Like they could get their bid this weekend, this would be so awesome for them, you know, with all of everything that's happening, like just one more relief of stress basically. And then Sunday morning I woke up and then I realized that this was not going to be anything I've ever done before. Yeah, nothing I've ever done. Definitely very raw. Everything about it was raw.
When it was time to go to warm-ups, we started our walk, that long walk.
Like that's when you felt everyone staring at you because you were in uniform, and everyone knew that we were Nfinity, and everyone knew that what we went through. They were staring at us like we were like lost puppies, and like.
And they just were all holding on to each other so tight. And normally it's a fun, goofing around, dancing around, walk to warm-ups, so pumped and excited and ready to go. And this time it was very...
You know, people coming up to us, hey, like, it's gonna be okay. When it was hard to tell us it's gonna be okay at the time because...
Yeah, it's like nothing could have been
It's nothing could have been better. No, absolutely not. And going into warm-ups and not hearing him hyping everyone up, or me and him doing like what we used to do, like we got cheer for spirit, come on, none of that. And it was just, it was crazy. And going into warm-ups, we have like a whole warm-up to ourselves.
And I remember as they were marking all the things that we wouldn't be doing that day. They were just crying, and
that was really hard to mark the routine with them.
It's just so hard to imagine that they were going to be one less family member on that floor.
all the other stunters are going, like me and Kevin were just like watching, and I remember Kevin just like, he was behind me and just, we were just hugging each other. We were both just crying.
My heart, yeah, that was his girl. Like to see her stand in that spot and him not there was just like, damn, this shit is like real.
Then when Kevin had to stretch me, it was, we just both started crying again. It's like, because we both knew that like that's what Kenrod liked to do. And then he'd always just like complain at how like unflexible I was.
I was just, you know, trying to keep everyone, you know, hopeful that everything is going to be okay, and that, you know, we have each other here to love on, and I've always been the one to just, you know, keep high spirits and keep the energy up, to be able to try to use whatever energy I had left in me to pick everyone else up.
To do, like, how do we go on the floor without him?
Did we feel like we could do it and like actually go on the floor and like make it through a routine?
We tried hard to carry on with our normal. We sang the national anthem.
Before we competed, we always sing the national anthem going through the halls. And we're walking in the back. He's like belting it out because it's Kenrod and he's extra dramatic.
Me and Kenrod were singing that shit hard as fucking Destiny's Child or some shit.
Once we get to the end and it picks up, he literally was like, this is my Beyonce moment. And then he just goes like off and like goes on riffs and all this stuff, and it was like the funniest thing.
We said our prayer.
Dear Lord, today we just pray that you put your arms around all of us as we take this forward, we take this journey. Dear Lord, we pray that you let us feel his strength, his love, and all the joy, kindness, and positivity that he has given to us. Dear Lord, now it's our turn to return it to him and celebrate him on the floor and show him just how much he truly meant to us. Dear Lord, let us push through as a family, the family that we are, the family that he is a great part of and has had such a great impact on. Please let us be strong out there and just enjoy every moment we have together, and most of all, enjoy him in the time that we have with him. All God truly say.
Amen. We had agreed to this. This is what we all wanted. We were going to go and take that floor and do it for him.
Seeing everybody, that was like beautiful.
You could hear everyone cheering for us.
The coaches had to walk on the stage to get to the front of the stage and get down.
And the arena was packed with so much love and support for him. Just watching them be so brave to take on that floor that day.
Everybody, keep it going for Nfinity, cheer for San Diego!
And that music started and
It went from 0 to like 1,000.
it was insane. music stopped, I just remember them falling to the ground and just, it was like they went out there and they were so strong through that performance. And when the music stopped, it was
coming off the stage was even crazier than walking on the stage. And I just remember this huge lane of people, a huge open lane with people on both sides, just people I don't know, people I've never met in my life, hugging me and, you know, giving me support and loving me. And I was just, you know, it made me think that everything in the world would be okay now.
It's pretty amazing. I'd never seen anything like that. He was incredibly loved by more than just us. It seemed like the entire cheer world was there for him.
No other team could have and would have reacted and been the way that Nfinity was. And old kids from Nfinity, it's like they were on the team with him, you know? It's like nothing that anybody's ever experienced. And as horrible as that night was, there was like a beauty to it also. You know, you just could like step back and just appreciate everything that this gym is and everything that Nfinity is. Like there's just like a moment that I remember just looking out at everybody and just like realizing how lucky we were to have what we have.
Like that was like real. Everyone in that room was like so close after that because we went through so much together.
Still also unreal. How could something like that happen? Ever in all my years of coaching have dealt with anything close to this, and I don't know.
That weekend was so powerful. I saw how many people Kenrod touched, and like I want to touch that many people. Like when I die, and I just want to be like Kenrod. He inspired so many people, and I want to be like that.
He just shared so much of himself with us, and so much love and kindness that he left it with us, and it was a reminder, you know, like this is the way it's supposed to be. This is the way you're supposed to love a teammate and accept everyone and help each other out when things are hard. It was really hard because not only was I not sure how to cope and deal with my own feelings about the situation, I had a hard time figuring out what do I do to help the kids, the rest of my kids. Like, I've always been like their second mom away from home and been able to help them through the struggles that they deal with. It's usually just life, as in jobs and scheduling and forgetting pieces of their uniform and boyfriend, girlfriend type things. It's never been a situation like this, and it was a big struggle to me to think of how I was going to be able to pick them up, because this was one time where I wasn't going to be able to just fix the problem. It was something that we were going to have to really deal with together and come together as a family. And it was going to be hard. From that day on, he was going to be our why. He was going to be our inspiration. And we were going to do it for him. What he taught us while he was here was what pushed us through the season and what bonded us and just helped us finish through.
I think we covered all the bases.
I don't know, I think we might have covered everything.
How about to add this? Diarrhea pimple.
Okay, we'll be home soon. I gotta finish and I'll call you in a few minutes.
Oh, you're weird, bro. I think that's...
Oh, no, but I get to interview you now.
Oh, I was just kidding.
Listen, you know you were...
There.
Sure. Ready?
Yeah. You wrote down questions?
Just a couple. What's your favorite color?
My favorite color? It's all relative, so, you know, all of them.
Okay, where does happiness come from?
Sadness. Comes out of sadness.
So after sadness comes happiness?
Yeah, and then after happiness comes sadness. It all goes back and forth. Boom.
Where do you go after you die?
Wherever you're at. Wherever you're at the moment. You know?
Where do bad people go?
Wherever you're at in the moment. If you're a bad person, you're there's not like that good and bad people. It's just like bad people in moments, you know? So there's, when people are doing something bad, that's when they're bad, and you know, they're living in that bad moment, that's hell. And then when someone's doing something good, you're feeling good, that's heaven. You know?
What does infinity mean to you?
It don't mean shit. It don't mean shit to me.
What? You're so
Infinity? I don't know. That's. I've already got plenty of those answers. I don't need to answer them.
But as your coach, I need your answer.
I don't know what that means to me. Like, I don't know. I don't even know what that means. What does it mean?
All the years that you've been on it, it's been important to you about it. What has it done for you? What do you feel like you've been a part of with it? Like, just what is it?
I joined when I was like, 19, 20? And I've changed, like, almost every season I've, like, become a different person. And Infinity's helped me see that, my growth as a person, like, not just, like, you know, as an athlete, but just, like, as an adult. So it's been a vehicle for me to see that, I guess.
Prior to the accident, you were asked multiple times to come back to Nfinity. The answer was a strong no. You were retired. What made you decide that you would come back?
I don't know. I didn't want anybody that was gonna step in that spot to dishonor or be just a random person that you know, that's never been there before and cause, you know, even more, you know, almost just, I didn't want anybody to disrespect the position. And if anyone was gonna do it, it's gonna be me, so I could feel like an asshole about it. I think sitting in the room with everybody and like watching, you know, wave after wave of them all being told. I felt like whoever was going to be on the team needed to see that.
This is day one of being on Nfinity. I haven't told the team yet. I stunted with Ashley tonight. Did some tosses to see if I could do it.
I told her that we're gonna do 100 of everything this week. I really don't. I don't want to dishonor you at all. I'm gonna keep you updated.